Hello again, everyone. Wanted to take a couple of minutes to chat through how this past week has turned out and what I have been up to. As we can see, I am on a bow character. I'm not on my blazing salvo character, and I wanted to talk through that a little bit. So if you saw my last blazing salvo days 4 and 6 update video, towards the end I started talking about how overall the build was going pretty well. I had a couple million DPS, and the build was feeling pretty tanky. The main problem being that it was a bit slow. The pack clear was average, to say the least, and a lot of your damage was really needed as part of a setup, you know, dropping your flame wall, your assassin's mark, pressing the focus button. You know, it really benefited you standing still, which is not particularly beneficial for the Sanctum. And so I wanted to kind of figure out a different build that I would be able to do that would be able to be a bit faster, let me kind of zoom through some different maps and actually farm a bit more of the Sanctum, because obviously, you know, that being a league mechanic, I wanted to get as much of those interactions that I possibly could. And so I was very lucky in that I was able to find this fractured bow. So it came with T1 fire damage fractured on it. And so once I dropped that, I was generally pretty enticed already, both characters, you know, being pretty quick. And so I said, okay, that's a decent idea. So I started grabbing some shrieking essences, either cold or lightning, and I started spamming them. And lo and behold, I managed to hit these rolls as we see here. I didn't do any metabot crafting, nothing particularly crazy. I just outright hit T2 lightning and T2 cold damage with the chaos res and attack speed. Now I effectively fell out of my chair at that point and realized, wow, I pretty much just need to craft crit chance and we're off to the races. This is a like 1250 LED PS bow, something absolutely insane. And so at this point, I knew I wanted to make some sort of bow character, but I personally don't really enjoy very generic or normal bow characters. They're squishy. I don't particularly enjoy the bow playstyle, and so I was kind of looking around for some different totem options, and I saw a couple of people doing artillery ballista on POE Ninja. And so researching it a little bit more, I actually found that both Grimrow and Firegrass league started artillery ballista, and I said, wow, hey, that's pretty sick. So I checked out some of their information that they had on it. I'll have links to their channels in the description if you want to check out some of the information they have, because they definitely are going to go more in depth than I will here. But I found that would be a pretty interesting idea. So artillery ballista is in fact the skill that we ended up going with. And overall, I am pretty happy with the results. We are level 97. The build is very tanky. We're at 5200 life. We have base 10k armor, 21,000 evasion rating, and that is without any frenzy charges up. When we actually have all of our frenzy charges up, we go up a pretty insane amount. We are a raider. This is a very basic passive tree that we have here. The Mariketh Jewel is not necessary, but it adds some nice affixes here and gives us a bit more dex for some evasion and some accuracy. So I will quickly take us through a map. All I've been doing, mostly to sprint through Sanctums, with some different folks have been talking about this as well. Off the top of my head, Lily and Captain Lance have put out videos for it as well, but I'm just doing a very basic wandering path tree, essentially grabbing 100% chance worth of these map drop duplication nodes, or as many of the map drop duplication nodes as we can, and then each 100% worth of these adjacent map drop chance here. And so we have 100% chance for a monster to drop a connected map, decent chance for map drop duplication, and then we are running shadow shaping, and so we are able to get rid of the possibility of everything that is not everything that is attached to atoll and coves, aside from each one of them, to not drop. So monsters will always ping pong back and forth between atoll and coves. So we see here I have a pretty decent number of each of them, and I actually have quite a lot more as well. So we can see I have another 11 here and another 32 coves here. So I've got quite a few. I started this out with a single coves map, and running this for a couple of days, I've been able to sustain quite a few maps. I've also been able to get quite a few relics and sanctified relics going through back and forth. This build is fantastic for the Sanctum. It has been night and day for Blazing Salvo. Compared to Blazing Salvo for the Sanctum. No particularly insane sanctified relics yet, but I will still be on the hunt for them. I'm currently using this one because we do crit and we do all 3 damage types. The freeze is actually surprisingly nice for pack clear, and the totem placement speed is just quality of life. So we can quickly run through a map just to show what I've been doing. Essentially the goal is to just run in and find the Sanctum, maybe do the harvest or the map boss. If you want to, I will skip the harvest for now. If you get a good altar of some sort, you can run through and clear more of the map, but essentially the goal is to just quickly run through here and get it done. So we found the Sanctum. We'll grab that and we'll port out. So that was a very quick map showcase, kind of just showing what I've been doing for sprinting through the Sanctum. Overall, the damage is pretty good with where we're at right now. It's a little difficult to exactly show, or I guess calculate per se, what some of the damage is. If we jump back in here, we'll see that what Artillery Ballista does is that it fires these arrows in a line, and so most of the damage that what we're getting is actually, as we see, when one of those arrows drops, it falls down and explodes in an area of effect. And so the more arrows that we can get, the more overlapping AoEs that we have. So then in effect, the more damage that we're going to have there as well. So I'll include my current POB right now. I think I'm sitting at roughly 140 to 150,000 DPS per arrow per totem. I would definitely suggest checking out some of Firegrass's videos on the build if you want to get a little bit more information as to exactly how to figure out most of your DPS. I would say we're probably at somewhere around 3 or so arrows right now. The biggest upgrades, if you are taking a look at the build and you want to see kind of where to go from what I have, I do have pretty much all self-crafted gear. Like I said, I'm in a group found league with just 2 or so other people. So all of my base gear is quite good, but the main thing that I'm missing is a helm enchant. We can get 2 additional arrows here, and I still do not have a Rain of Splinters jewel. I am 342 Crimson Jewels Vald with no Rain of Splinters, so that is unfortunate. That is 4 additional arrows, which would likely bring us up closer to the 5 or so arrow overlap mark. So with, 5 times 142 times 6 number of totems, we're doing a very comfortable amount of damage. So those would be the main things to take a look at. But yeah, that is what I have been doing currently. And I will likely continue doing this. Pretty much my main goal is to just keep chugging along, trying to get some relics that are particularly exciting, and try to find some drops that make me particularly interested in making a different build than this one, because 97 is probably pushing about as much as I want to actually work on a single build at a time. There's also a good chance that I may restart Install a Self-Found. I've been somewhat interested in trying to start Summon Raging Spirit, not the poison variation, because obviously I won't have anything because it would be a league start, and kind of showing some of the progression up to, who knows, maybe hitting poison, maybe dropping something else along the way that makes me want to reroll. But that is all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you.